Okay, guys. Hi, how are you? And I'm really excited. As you know, we had the convention a couple of weeks ago. We are having the Blitz this Thursday. We're having the Blitz here in Salt Lake City. I know some of you have a Blitz in one of your cities, a city close to you, and make sure you go there with prospects. And the next 90 days are going to be really powerful, guys, because the company is going into momentum. And just to give you a number, just a number. Right now, last year the company sold at around $259 million. This year it's going to be way higher than that. But we are heading to sell over $1 billion a year. Right now we are accumulated. We are close to $2 billion accumulated. But the company is heading to hit the $1 billion per year. That means that the next $700 million per year are going to come under people that are in isogenics. And that means a lot of commissions. And I really believe that Isogenics is going to be a large company. Right now, the largest network marketing company sell about $11 billion a year. I believe that Isogenics could be as big or bigger than them. When we get to $1 billion, that means that they are selling 500, or they are sending $500 million in commissions. And that shows you the potential of this business. But to get to those positions, we have to make sure we go through certain things that are really important to follow. The next webinars are going to be kind of strong. I'm going to be talking from my heart, but really strong too. We are going to be talking about actions that I'm taking myself. Actually, what I'm going to be talking today has to do with something I'm going to do myself. Whoever wants to do it, perfect. Who doesn't want to do it, perfect too. But it's because the only way that we can get to whatever we want is because we have to make certain actions that we cannot avoid. Doing the things the way that we are doing it all the time, they are going to keep giving us the same results that we always have. We don't want that. Now, first, before I'm going to show you some of the advancements. This is interesting. This was for the week before. And this, I congratulate everybody that's here. If you see on the, okay, let me see if I can actually fix it that you can see it better because, all right. Now, perfect. Okay. Now you can see what I'm going to show you. Oops. Okay, that's not what I want. Okay, it's not working. Hold on a second. I love technology. All right, perfect. Okay, this part is the person that advanced, and this is the sponsor. Now, you see all these people I congratulate, Nick Jungle Blood, these are in my group. He became a one-star Golden Circle, Andrea Pisano, Star Consultant, Heather Duty, Star Consultant. When you say consultant, one Golden Circle is actually Silver Circle, Penny Johnson, Kathleen Ray, congratulations to Jane Rank. But now, look at this. This is really interesting. How many people are new consultants for last week? Another page, more consultants, you see? And again, this, oops, sorry. Okay. These are the people that become a consultant. These are their personal sponsor. You see the amount of people we saw the page before. This is amazing. People say, well, it's a slow time. It's not. Look what is happening. And this was in the week of convention, because as you know, we are 1 week behind also. And I just received this. And this is the next one. That's really impressive. Look at these top sponsors. Now, Nancy and Shane Reinhardt, if you receive my newsletter, you see that the week before this one, they sponsored 5 people, a total of 20, I think it was 27 people in 3 weeks. Look how many people they sponsor, and congratulations, guys. 11 people. That's over 37 in the last, about 37 in the last 4 weeks. And look these numbers. This is amazing. And congratulations to all of you. I could go through all your names, but we don't have the time, obviously. But and by the way, congratulations, Lori Harder. Look at her. She's here. Lori Harder, by the way, is Miss. She has been Miss Bikini, Miss Fitness, etc. She sponsored this guy. She also sponsored this guy here. Now, she also sponsored Kathy Savage. No wonder she became a 6-star Golden Circle, and she's really close to become a 7. She didn't start doing the business until last year, although she was using the product for about 6 months before she started doing the business. But anyway, congratulations to all of you guys. And the reason I have these numbers here on the screen is because I want to show you. And by the way, I don't have the 2 because we have so many that it's why I have only 2, the people that sponsor 11, 5, 4, and 3. we are starting to move into a strong momentum. And that's why when I say, guys, we're going to hit $1 billion, I think we are only 3 or 4 years away. That you don't want to be missing. That doesn't mean that in 4 years you are not going to make money. Of course you are. But right now, when the waves start moving fast, it's the time when you start surfing. Although I'm not a surfer, I'm learning. Anyway, this is a really powerful that I wanted to show you. Now, tonight we will learn more about how to create momentum in your business. And I was showing you this before to show you that imagine that that's happening now. What is going to happen with momentum? And by the way, you can say, how can you sponsor so many people in a week, etc. And all those things you will learn through. We have many webinars that actually talk how to never run out of prospects. But now we are going to put this in action. And today, although I'm not going to talk about specific technique, you're going to see how you can get to the next level. Now, first, I want to make the difference, and you saw this on the newsletter, and I wanted to repeat it here. What is the difference between big business and small business? And I want to go again through that because, guys, this is what is going to make the next 90 days and the rest of your life in the business. Now, a small business, this is when you find people to sell them the product. You only talk about the product. You look for gyms, health professionals, etc. Now, you look for only people who need the product. In other words, you will become a product peddler. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, but that's the way that people see you. Nothing wrong with it. You can create, but you are not going to be creating a large income for a reason, for sure. You are going to sell a lot of products. And by the way, and many of you probably are in that boat that you say, I sponsor a lot of people, but I have a small organization. The reason is because when we are really strong product oriented, it's really hard to build an organization. And by the way, one of the best signs is how many president of business package actually you sponsor people with. Interesting because the statistics say that the people that sponsor the most with business packages, or like the president pack and the business package itself, you go faster. As a matter of fact, somebody was asking me, well, how X person got to $30,000 in their second month starting from zero? Because this woman was starting people with the business and packages and taking advantage of the double PABs. We are not going to go into that now, but you can go really quick. And we are going to talk about how to go that action for 90 days. Now, rarely, and I say rarely because there are always exceptions, anybody built a big business doing this, doing the small business. I'm talking about people that are earning 6, 7 figures or multiple six figure. You don't see Jimmy Smith, Carol Taylor, Renata Lee, Susan Sly. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. The people, myself, etc. People building, just talking about the product. No, you have to combine the two of them. By the way, I'm not saying not to talk about the product. I'm saying about using the product as part of the whole package. Now, big business is where the big boys and big girls play. This is where you find the multiple 6 and 7 figure earners. People here talk about the lifestyle, the dreams, the possibilities. Now, look at what I just said. People here talk about the lifestyle, the dreams, the possibilities. Let me clarify this. I say lifestyle, no business or products. You talk to your prospect about their dreams, how they can achieve them with our business. This is so important. Let me clarify this really strongly. You are talking about lifestyle. In other words, you are talking about them, how Isogenics can solve their or can help them to reach their dreams and solve their problems. When you do this, this is big business. When you're talking only about product, it's not big business. You become a retailer. If you want a large residual income, this is the way to do business. This is the way to do business. Now, to build big, there is a way to go. You must take time to learn the pay plan. It is interesting, and I'm not going to go into the pay plan, but we did a webinar about 3 weeks ago about the pay plan. It's going to be up. It's not up because there were some technical difficulties, but it's going to be up and how to get going in the next 5 days. But you have to learn the pay plan. You have to learn about the bonuses. I am surprised how many people, when I ask questions that are so simple, they don't have the answer. And it is not that their pay plan is complex because it's really simple. One on the left, one on the right, and you can earn up to $700,000 as a consultant. It's just that people have not internalized the pay plan in a way that they can understand and get excited. Our pay plan is, and as I said in the newsletter, is simpler than any other pay plan that I have seen out there, and I have been in network marketing since 1992. And that's why I can say it with confidence. Now, you must learn and dare to offer the business in order to succeed. And this is really important. You must learn and dare to offer the business in order to succeed. This is something that, guys, it's going to be hard for some people because they're afraid to talk about the business. Now, you offer in the business, obviously, after asking about the lifestyle, but they remember, the business always is there. Even if a person is saying something like, oh, I just want to use the product, perfect. You don't fight them, but then when they are going to order, you say, by the way, if you recommend this to two people, the company can send you back about $350. By the reason I say $370, excuse me, the reason I say that is because I'm preparing them to the President Pack. And say, really? Yeah, you can get $370 back in a gift card. The gift card is the Isogenis card. And by the way, if any of them also recommend to people, you get at least $100 for each one. That means that's $570. You see how you can put the businesses even in people that are not interested. Now, this part, what I just said, it has been in other trainings. I just adding it here. It's not part of tonight training, but it's to give you an idea the power that we have with this pay plan and why we have to talk about the business and the lifestyle. Now, some of you and all of you, and including me, we must do things that are uncomfortable. There are things that I don't like to do. However, when I decide to go for something, I do it because I know I prefer to be uncomfortable for a little while when I'm building a business or a lifestyle that is going to take you wherever you want. And when I say uncomfortable, for some people could be talking on the phone. For some people could be sharing a magazine. For some people could be training people, even something like that. But guys, all those things can be, there are many ways that can be done in a way that they are not going to be as uncomfortable, and they are going to help you to build a great business. But remember that it's funny when you see companies and groups or people that are selling stuff, so-called gurus, that they tell you do this and you don't have to talk to anybody, to your friends or anything. But I tell you, and I bet there are some of you right now on this webinar, I spend a lot of money just checking those ideas and those trainings, etc., because I wanted to know if they were true, because that would be a cool way to get to my downline and to myself also to speed up my business. But almost none of those things work at all. You still have to do some uncomfortable things. But again, you can apply it to your personality, and if you have fun with them, they can become less uncomfortable. But anyway, now, in order to be a large business, we must go into massive action. Now, the interesting thing, the massive action doesn't have to be for a long term, and we are going to talk about that. This massive action is done in the form of well set up action plans. Now, I want to add something really simple. There's really simple plans, because this is the way that you ensure that any person can do it. Not everybody's going to do it, but every person is going to be able to do it. This takes us to what I call the 90 days blitz. Now, I learned about the 90-day blitz years ago. The company I was involved with was going to be out of business. They were having some problems, and I knew that was a question of really months probably. And I left the company a few months before it happened, probably about 6 or 7 months before they went out of business. When I got into my next company, I had to make money as fast as I could. That was in 1994. It is when I applied for the first time the massive 90-day blitz. That, by the way, I happened to learn in the company before, but I learned it in I would say about a year before the company went out of business. Why I really never applied. I did some kind of blitz, basically 30 days shorter, but 90 days are the ones that create long-term massive growth, and I'm going to tell you in a second why. But anyway, for those 90 days, myself and a small group of people, I think we were only 10 people, we commit to do certain things during those 90 days. This was an everyday action plan. We started in November 1st, and by the end of January, and this is in less than 3 months, we have over 1,000 people already. And the cool thing is that we were building this blitz through the holidays, through Thanksgiving and to Christmas and New Year's Eve. And even with that, by mid-January or the end of January, we have over 1,000 people. And also, at the time, I reached a rank that at the time was a record. Later, many people broke the record. It's like the 4-minute mile. After Roger Bannister break the record, many other people broke it too. But anyway, And the reason is because I was really focused, and I was doing, and I don't have it here on the screen, but to tell you some of the things that I was doing, and many of you probably are going to say, "What is that?" One of our goals was to send at least 10 fax on demand to people daily. Now you may say, "What is a fax on demand?" Well, if you don't know it, you are not missing anything. But at the time, it was one of the tools that we had. That was before the internet has all the tools that we have today. We were so strong that within days, the machine, maybe it was a couple of weeks, the machine at the company broke down, and they have to hire a third party that could handle so many fax on demand that we were sending. And that's one of those things that we did every day, because our goal was to create a massive momentum. And the way that we did it, we have everybody a list of about 100 people, and the idea was to go through those 100 ASAP. And some of us, like me, I went through those 100 people probably in the first week and a half, 10 days, something like that. But anyway, since that time, and by the way, it was really successful because I became full-time in that business and really quick. Now, since then, I have used the 90-day Blitz a few times. One great example, and I had done it several times when I started in Isagenix, I did, but I have this example because it was really cool. And by the way, in Isagenix, I did it in my first complete 90 days. By the end of my third month, I was hitting a six-figure already. Now, this example, I like it because we were at the top achievers, and Kathy called me on the stage saying that by celebration, that was around 6.5, 7 months later, I would be the newest millionaire. Now, I got excited, everybody got excited, but I didn't really have a clue how much money I needed to get there. Then Kathy gave me a number. And then I called, and I found out I needed around a little more than $400,000. Now, interesting is, as you see in the screen here, in the year before, I earned less than that in 12 months. I called Kathy, and I said, "Oh, Kathy, last year I didn't earn that kind of money." And her answer was really cool. "Oh, good. Then you are going to make money faster." She's really optimistic, for those of you that know Kathy Coover. But anyway, to make the story short, the week before the celebration, I hit my first $1 million. Now, these 90 days can be done even if you are brand new. Right now, of course, I was talking myself that I was already in the company growing the business. You don't have to have anybody under you, because the Blitz is based on one thing alone: no long-term goals, no rank or income goals, although those are important, but the one thing that matters the most. I wonder if you have an idea what it is. Daily actions. That's the only thing that you have control. You can't control exactly the date that when you are going to receive the rank of 3, 4, 5 stars or whatever. You can't predict exactly how much is going to be your check by a certain date, but you can predict how many actions are you going to do today. In other words, this is based on IPAs, or activities that get you to produce money. And these activities have to be the one that lead to two things that make you money. When you sponsor somebody, or somebody is sponsoring somebody in your organization and selling somebody in your organization. That includes the people that you personally talk to, or the people that is sponsored by you, or the three-way calls in your downline. Those activities are the ones that we are going to focus during those 90 days. And when I talk about activities, when we talk about the hours that you're going to put into this business, these are the only thing that you do. The trainings, listening to webinars, etc., are going to be outside that time. They don't count. The only thing that count are the activities that are going to produce you money. These 90 days, if you follow it, your business could get to the next level, and that can mean several ranks up. And especially if you're starting out, you start from zero, becoming a consultant, consultant. You can go all the way to executive, and even 1 or even 2 or even 3-star golden circle, or even 4. Why not? Other people have done it. I did it in 4 months. I think my 4-star golden circle. I don't recall off the top of my head, but it was really quick, and was a year or so to probably around a year to become a 5-star golden circle. But anyway, and today people are doing it faster because of the tools. But anyway, this is really important. I hope you're seeing this. Again, you are going to be focusing on income-producing activities. These have to do with activities that are going to lead you to sponsoring people or selling something. And again, these are income producing activities. And what kind of strategies are? Well, I don't have it here on the screen, but you are going to be, we have videos and trainings about that, and you are going to see more recordings coming up. These are activities like presentations, handing out magazines, sending people to your website to look at the presentations, three-way calls, etc. Now, I will be starting a personal 90-day blitz. This is for me. If you want to join me, that's okay. As a matter of fact, I'm getting into, we are getting a isoderby team that I'm going to tell you in a second. And I will go, this will go from September 10 to December 9. This is a 30 days, 90 days, actually it's a little more than that. And I will be going into pure action, income producing activities. The reason this is 90 days, it is because you will have to go over any obstacle and excuse. It is going to be sustained action in a way that it can be done only for 90 days, no more. And I know the power of this. And when I say no more, it's because it's going to be hard action. You don't want to sustain it for longer than that. You have to take a break. Then later you can do shorter blitz. But also you're going to be teaching to your organization every time a new distributor comes in, they have their own blitz. But anyway, this is really cool. If you want to join me, there are several things you must commit to, and it has to be now. The blitz starts at 10, but the pre-launch is now. What I mean about pre-launch, you are going to start calling people right now that we are starting a blitz. Originally, I was going to start the next Monday, the 4th, but some people I've been talking to say, well, we have to form the teams, and we are going to talk about that in a second. We have to get ready. We have to buy the material, etc. And then you are going to be receiving different emails that are going to be telling you about the things to get ready. Tonight is just for this as information if you want to be part of the Blitz. By the way, the idea, let me go to the next one before I say that. There are some of the rules. You must be in an ISA Derby team. The team does not have to be doing the Blitz, but if it is great. If you have at least, the idea would be if at least 2 people in that team are doing the ISA Derby. If you don't know what the ISA Derby team is, make sure you go to your back office and check on the ISA Derby rules. This is a great way for you to go into a team group and also even get prizes. But now, if you are part-time, and most of you are, this is another stipulation, you must be willing to contact a minimum of 10 people a day. I know probably I'm going to be losing a couple of people here on the call right now. 5 days a week, this may take 1 to 2 hours. Some of you may say, I don't know 10 people. Well, you are going to find a way to get those 10 people, because when you have the desire to do it, you're going to do 10 people a day. Now, this may take 1 to 2 hours a day, and we are going to show you, and if you have seen my webinars before, the first contact has to be really short. You have to go to a lot of people just to look for those people that are open to receive more information. You don't have to push anybody. You are going to send information only to the people that is open. And those 3-way calls are going to be with people that are already open, people that you already talked. Now, this may take, as I said, 1 or 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Now, you have 2 days that you can do whatever you want, but for 5 days, you can do that. Now, if you want to do more than 5 days, the power is to you, but it's good to have an extra, at least 1 day of rest. Although the minimum goal is 10 people per day, the idea is to contact 30 people per day. Now, if you have been following my newsletters and seeing the webinars, in the last month and a half, I've been preparing you to hear this. I have, in the newsletter, I talk about how Mark Jarnell, and I actually had even a video, link to a video, a 10-minute video, where he talks about creating 6-figure income per month. He was talking about the minimum 10 people per day, 20 people per day, and 30 people per day, and how fast you could go. And he was saying how you can do it in 2 hours, 30 people per day. And he talks about some strategies that we are going to be expanding on that during this 90 days. But this is really powerful, guys, because the results are going to be amazing. You're going to see in the 5 days you commit to a full, at least 2 hours or more of prospecting. Obviously, if you want to contact 30 people, you will need probably at least 3, maybe 4 hours of contacting people. Now, if you want to use 8 hours, if you are full-time, perfect, because the more people you contact, the faster you go to your business. But I understand most people are part-time, and in 10 you can get probably in 1 hour you can get 10 people, but then more than 10 is stretching it. Although it can be possible with all the strategies that we are going to be teaching you, or you have already seen strategies that I taught in other previous webinars. Now, in this Blitz, we will be using many ways to approach people, not only one, and you will be doing the activities for big business, not a small business. In other words, will be looking for business people. We will mostly be promoting the business pack and the president packs. And the reason is because we will be looking for people, business people, and to maximize your growth and your business. Because the more people come with the president pack, the more leaders, or the business pack, the more leaders are you going to have. For those of you who probably saw some on my posting on Facebook, I show the power of prospecting with the business pack. It's mostly because you are going to get a lot of president packs. And I'm not going to go into details right now. But anyway, and this is one of your goals, to have as many people as possible to the New Year celebration in Phoenix. And this is your goal. Make sure, I don't know, for those of you, I know you went to the convention and you probably didn't have anybody at the convention. You have probably 2 people, 5 people. Well, your goal is to go for many more than that. Now, this New Year's celebration in Phoenix is limited. I think the capacity only for 2,000 people. It's why they say, okay, let's start strong, because the more people you have, the faster you're going to go in the next year too, where we are going to create other 90 days. But guys, this is going to be one of your goals. Now, the reason I'm having as requirement to join an ISA group is because you must be accountable to a group. And this is what makes a Blitz very powerful, when you are working with one person or a whole group. Now, also, by belonging to an ISA group, you could have the chance to be in one of the 10 groups that will be invited with all the expenses paid for 2, including our plane tickets and rooms for 2 to Maui and Hawaii. This is going to be powerful. And this is the icing on the cake. Because, yeah, it's going to be cool for those of you that would love to go to Maui, Hawaii. I have never been in Maui. I would love to go there. But the most important part is how much you will grow in those 90 days and your business. And something that you have to keep in mind, to these first 90 days, you're going to be planting so many seeds. Maybe you're not going to have all the results that you will want, but the incredible amount of seeds that you will be planting will reflect in the rest, or will be reflecting during the rest of the year. This is something that you have to keep in mind. Now, the most important part is that you will be part of a team, as I said before. They don't have to be part of the Blitz. I'm talking about the ISA Derby teams. However, it is better that you are in a team with at least 2 people, including you, doing the Blitz. And the reason, obviously, because you will understand better. And if you happen to be already on a team right now, and you are the only one on this call, on this webinar, make sure you invite them to the recording of this webinar. It's going to be probably in the next couple of days. I don't say tomorrow because I don't know, as Alex was saying at the beginning, they have tropical storms and a hurricane that went through Miami or Fort Lauderdale, where Alex lives. And right now the conditions are not really strong. We don't know if we are going to have the recordings ready for tomorrow, but you are going to have them this week. But anyway, and invite people to that they are already in your team. Again, if you are in the ISA Derby, and say, okay, let's be in this 90-day Blitz. And because, yeah, you're going to have the accountability of your group if you are not in the 90 days. But if you have the 90 days, wow, you go even faster, even if only one person in the team is part of this group. Now, again, I will be starting this on September 10. And right now we are going in pre-launch, and you tell people we are into pre-launch. By the way, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be doing anything. You start prospecting people now. One of the ways, call your team, people that are in your team. When I mean in your team, in your downline, call people that are in your downline. Tell them that you are starting a 90-day Blitz. That is hard, but at the end of the 90 days, you could be earning a lot of money. Call people that have been inactive. Don't tell them anything about, we have the magnifico products and incredible. No, you are telling, I'm starting in 90 days. Are you in? And if the person say no, okay, click. Also, you can call prospects. You say, I'm starting this 90-day Blitz. and you can get into a six-figure income really quick. Prospects that you called in the past, call them. Tell them that you are starting a 90-day blitz and you want to start with them. Some of them are going to be excited for that and join you. Don't start telling again the product, etc. The only time is when they tell you, well, can you send me a video of the company? Sure, and you send the new video that we had, the 3.5 minutes, or you send them the enterprising woman or retired with an anchor income. But again, you can even talk, invite people that are prospects. Again, you can tell your prospects, I'm starting a 90-day blitz. Now, people love challenges, and sometimes this is what motivates people to join. It is not the product. It is not the opportunity. It is the challenge. And it's when they hear something like that, they get excited. And plus, you are offering them 90 days to go strong. You are not telling a year. Now, that doesn't mean that for a year they're not going to do business. This is just the first 90 days that we have to go strong. Now, here's one more thing that I learned this from Bob Proctor years ago, and it has been repeated by many successful entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, a guy that I respect a lot, Ray Hingdon, he's a top distributor in another company, has been using this as one of the main things to promote his 90 days into his teams. Now, this is the most important key to succeed in this business. And when you have this in mind, you will be really successful. Are you ready to listen to this? Okay. Think on your mission, not on your commission. As a matter of fact, Bob Proctor wrote a training called Mission in Commission. Guys, when you think on your mission instead your commission, you're going to make a lot of money because you're helping others to do the same. Think about how you can assist your partners that are going to be in your team, or people that are in your downline, or people that you are inviting to ISOGENs, how they can change their life, how they can change their life in many ways. This includes also your friends and family. Remember, in ISOGENs, the cool thing about our pay plan is when you help people to go up in positions, you also go up in positions or in ranks. Think about this. If you're thinking, oh, I'm signing up this guy and I know it's going to make me a lot of money, I tell you, you're going to have a hard time sponsoring whoever you are talking about. There are going to be obstacles. There's not going to be a way to talk to the person, or the person is going to say no, because you are thinking in your pocket. You have to think in how you can benefit that person. And I know some people out there just saying, yeah, sure, I've been in business now. That's not the way that works. Hey, guys, if you want long-term success, make sure you think on your mission, how you can help other people, not on your commission. And by the way, write a vision that goes with your mission. It sounds good. Oh, I didn't think about that before. Now, we have an incredible company. And you know, for all the many testimonials that we are changing lives, and they are going to change many more lives. ISOGENs is going to be helping so many people in the process if you are doing your part. They don't need us, obviously, but if we are also thinking in the mission, not in our commission, we are going to be helping tons of people, and billions of dollars are going to get paid in commissions, because this company is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company per year. Think about this. They are approaching right now $2 billion in sales as accumulated, not in 1 year. That means that they have paid close to $1 billion in commissions already. This is cool. Imagine when that start happening every year. And this is going to be mostly to people that they have in their mind the mission, not the commission. Think about this. In the next few days, you will receive an email, and make sure you respond and say, yes, I want to be part of this Blitz. Now, you can ask questions right now. You can send me an email right now if you want to, but this is something that I'm preparing. It's going to be probably taking about 3 or 4 days before you receive it. Now, meanwhile, your homework is to form or join an ISA Derby team ASAP. The deadline is this weekend for ISA Derby teams. ISA Derby teams is separate from us, and the deadline is this weekend. Make sure you join a team or form a team. Also, you can start your action now because the ISA Derby is already open. We are in the pre-launch of the 90 days, but you're going to the action now. During the 90 days Blitz, we will be providing you with ideas of prospecting or directing you to the right information. We will also have some webinars live and recorded, and some conference call too. Guys, make sure you are ready for this. And also, by the way, I will be giving assignments, and you must follow them for better results. If you feel that this is too much stress, let me remind you that this is only for 90 days. However, when we go through these 90 days, your mindset after the 90 days is going to be one of organizing yourself to, and then going into effective action all the time. Maybe not the strength that you're going to do in these 90 days, but then you can create every 2 quarters, one of these 90, or every 3 quarters. You must tell your family that you need their support. It is going to be intense, but worthwhile. In other words, if your family, your wife or your husband say, "Oh, let's go today and to the movies," and if you have not gone to at least the 10 people or 20 people or 30 people that you promised, and it's one of those 5 days, remember there are 5 days that you're going to choose. Say, "Not tonight. Remember, I told you I'm going into this 90-day blitz, and it's for our family." More information is going to follow. Now, I don't know if anybody has any questions. Alex,
Yeah, hi
are you there,
George.
Alex?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought I
I'm
lost you with
here.
the hurricane.
And no, no. And actually, we do have actually a commitment here, and since we're going to have this public, the first person to make a commitment to the 90-day blitz is Milt. So he
Who?
just Milt Green, and he
Oh,
said,
okay.
yes, George, I want to be a part of an ISA Derby team and join the 90-day blitz. So, Milt, congratulations for being the first one to
Okay.
actually take action.
Yes.
So,
Now, tomorrow, for those of you that are in Utah, we are going to be talking more about that into our meeting tomorrow. We are going to have a regular opportunity meeting, but after that, we're going to be there for about 45 minutes talking about this. But congratulations, Milt. Yeah, because this is going to be amazing. And by the way, those of you that are in the call, I can see about 4 people. Let's see, 5 people that I personally sponsor. And you're going to be getting a call from me, including you, Alex. Alex is
absolutely.
personal sponsor for me. Because, guys, this is going to be
Yeah.
a way for all of us to go to the next level, the next rank, the next income, whatever you want to. But remember, this is going to be based on daily activities, and it's going to be strong, but it's going to be fun too. And then we will celebrate at the New Year's celebration, and then we will celebrate in huge. And it's an idea I have that I'm not yet. I will be talking to some leaders first before if we put it out there. We are going to be having I have a great idea for convention next year in August in Las Vegas, especially because it's in Las Vegas. We can do more. By the way, it's going to be legal. When I say more, it's legal, nothing from. In case you're thinking something weird, no, there's not something weird. Something for a group. But guys, I'm really, 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 really excited. And again, this week and the next week is pre-launch. But then form your team, start working in this, because the earlier you work, of course, the more ahead you're going to be, especially on your ISO Derby. Also, something I forgot, we're going to be having some prizes that are going to be mostly, they're going to be based on activities. Next week, next Monday, I'm going to be talking about the activities and how it's going to work and the points. You're going to have points for the activity. And there is going to be a lot of based on the activities that we have on the ISO Derby, the Isogenics is putting together or put together already. Okay, I have another. Sorry, I got excited. I don't know
Yeah,
if I
no,
have any
and
other questions.
actually we have commitments from several people. I'm just going to name two more right now: Carol Rankin and Sunshine, both right. So congratulations to both of you also. And
Yeah, I got
George.
also 2 text messages from people that are on the telephone. I got. Let's see. Yeah, I got Michaela. Okay, Michaela Shines. I have it here. Oh, Mickey Shines, and somebody else. I don't know who this person is. Anyway, that's only my telephone number. I don't know who. Didn't say who the person is.
It
Anyway,
might be Paul Pierpont.
Paul,
He
Paul
just
Pearson. Okay,
messaged
this is
you.
a text message. I don't know. You keep
Yeah,
hearing in the background. Oh, another one just came in. Yeah, Brooke
yeah.
also just said, "I am in."
Yeah, and one thing I just wanted to point out, the power of committing full speed ahead. And, we do have a sample of the person that actually came to be the fastest rising 5-star golden circle. It's amazing the numbers that she and her team were seeing in the first month, second month, and third month. So I don't know if you want to just illustrate what's possible. I know we shouldn't be talking about, numbers.
Can I go
and
to
so
your
on.
good move?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead too.
Okay, because I have still the screen. Okay. And you have seen this slide before. We see it here, and let me, you see? Okay, Lisa De Mayo, okay, she made 9,100 in her first month and over 21,000 in her first 6 days. That means that she made about $12,000 in her second month. But look at Lee, 4,400 in her first month, 39,000 in the first 60 days. That means that was 35,000 in her second month. Now here's Lee. Now, some people say, well, can anybody do that? Yes, not everybody's going to do it. And by the way, this was something that was impossible a little more than a year ago because we didn't have any of the bonuses that we have now. And yeah, you can go really quick. Now, the 90 days, our goal to the 90 days, and by the way, and if you listen to the conference call of Lisa De Mayo Link, you see that most of the people are coming with the business packages. When I mean the business package, the president pack, etc. Just a minority of people are coming with 30 days, and I don't think they ever have anybody coming with the 9 days. And this is amazing. Also for better results of the products, obviously. The bigger the package, the best, because you have a way bigger variety of products. Yeah, I have another.
Yeah, and
okay,
George.
I could get messages from people that say, I mean.
Yeah, and actually there's, well, it could be that we both are foreigners, so we don't really get English that well, and we have here a new word, at least for me, and Bonnie Atkins says, yes, I'm blitzing. So
Blitz. Actually, the word blitz I think comes from German.
Yes, it's actually the equivalent of a lightning, sort of.
Lightning, yeah. Yeah, blitz. And blitzkrieg is a lightning attack or something like that. A blitz is something that you do really quick. It cannot be sustained for too long, obviously, but it's a way that every time that it's an extra effort, and you do it in every sport. You probably see it sometimes in basketball that's only for a few minutes, seems that they are going crazy, or in soccer, while the other team is kind of seems that staying behind, and the reason is because they are recovering. But that happens in every sport, and also in business. Also, you go really strong, and then you slow down a little, and then you go strong again. And in other words, you do it by blitz. It's something that it can be sustained. Now, by the way, many of you, as I said, are part-time, and we were talking about 1 to 2 hours a day for the days that you choose, and depend on the activity that you want to reach. And the cool thing is that one of my associates, actually, when she got into isogenic, she went into a really strong blitz. I mean, she was talking to a lot of people. In her first month, I think in her first three or 4 days, she became a star crystal executive, just in 3 or 4 days. And by the end of the first month, she already hit 6 figures. Of course, before she decided, or her husband, to quit the job, they went for 90 more days, and they were making enough money. And it's funny because each of their position, I think each position is 4-star. Each one had their own position right now. But anyway, and again, that was possible because of the bonuses that we have now. But the reason they went into that strong blitz, and I know that if you go into an 80-day blitz, that doesn't mean that you're going to be making way more than in your job in 90 days. But what is carried after those 90 days, the ripple effects in less than a year, is almost sure. And of course, that depends on your own efforts. We better have a disclaimer in case.
Yeah.
But the disclaimer is that everything depends on your efforts. But I tell you one thing: there is a great chance that in less than 12 months, you're quitting your job. Of course, again, depending on your efforts.
Yeah. And George, by the way, whenever we're talking about incomes, we should remind people to take a look at isagenixearnings.com, because we have one of the most powerful disclaimers in the whole industry.
Yes. And also, do you know the cool thing? We have a powerful disclaimer, but we also have so many examples of people earning money. And that's something that's not really common in the industry. The pay plan is simple, etc. But anyway, I wonder if there is another question or anything that some of the audience is saying.
No,
because we have a lot of people in the audience. I just noticed that.
Yeah. Actually, no further, just comments and about the webinar and so on. So basically, George, we also need to start wrapping this up. We're again past our,
Yeah.
allocated time. So if you have
Yes.
any closing,
Yeah. Make sure you get into a team, and it's a derby team. If you can do it with somebody from your own team and your own downline, it's really good. And if you are the only one that happen to be on this call, but you have some other people in your downline, make sure you sit down with them and plan to have a 90-day blitz. And again, you can be in a team, and if you have at least one other person that is following the 90 days, it's really cool because you can partner with that person and you can keep accountable. Although per se, the team already is going to keep you accountable, but you can be accountable to a person that's doing the 90 days too. And by the way, it's ideal because the 90 days. Oh, before I forgot, I forgot. The same day that we finish the 90-day blitz is the same day is the last day also of the ISA Derby. That means that we are running parallel to the end. In other words, as soon as we finish the 90 days, then you get ready for Christmas, and probably you're going to have a nice check for Christmas if you do it right. And also it's at the same time that when the ISA Derby stop. But anyway, that's
yeah.
what I wanted to say.
By the way, George, a question just came in about the ISA Derby team. Do you have to be a consultant to enter the ISA Derby team? Where can you find the
No,
rules? Okay.
no. You can be anybody. You can be even a person that is not a distributor that just joined, a person that is totally wet behind the ears. By the way, I don't know what they say wet behind the ears. It's one of the things that I had not learned from the English yet. But anyway, when you are brand new, yeah, you can be brand new. Now, the only qualification is that you have to make sure that you don't have more than two star consultants in the same team. You cannot have more than two star consultants in the same team. And the reason they do that is because they don't want to have everybody super 5-star going in circles, super sponsors in the same team. Again, you cannot have more than two-star consultants or above in the same team. I think that's the only qualification. Then the other qualifications for if they win, etc. But to belong to a team, and by the way, you can have. And the most important part of getting points on the teams, and this is something that I'm going to tell you. You don't have to read this part. On the qualification is very simple. Every package 30 days and up have points, and the higher the package, the higher the points, and that's a way to qualify. And the second one is every time you advance somebody in your organization to anything, consultant, star consultant, etc. Is also you get points. It's why in some ways an advantage to have a lot of consultants or people that are not even consultants, brand new people, because as soon as they advance, bang, you have points. But anyway, that's cool.
Yeah. Perfect. So then I want to thank you, George, for all the inspiration and motivation that you have given us. I want to thank each and every single one of you for taking the time to join us here. And I congratulate those of you that have committed to the Blitz tonight. I know many of you will be thinking about it, and really, you do need to make the commitment because the rewards are tremendous, but it does require some work. And for those of you who think that 1 or 2 hours a day is a little bit too much of time to commit, I felt the exact same way, but I found a way to simply work 5 minutes at a time. And you can see it actually on the How to Get Going site, how to take 5 minutes at a time at the top of each hour. And if you do that from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock in the evening, you have a solid hour of time placed in there. So make sure
Can I
you
say
take.
something before
Yeah,
I
go
forget?
ahead. Go ahead.
As soon as you finish. Okay. And this is something I forgot to put on the slide, but it's really simple. There are just 3 things that you're going to be doing every day: connecting with people, presenting to people, and follow up every day. You're going to be doing that. connecting with people, presenting, and following up. And of course, every day you are going to be adding more people to your list too, because obviously, if you do 10 people a day and you have only 100 people in 10 days, you are going to run out of people. You have to find out how to learn, to add more people, and we are going to be talking about all that. By the way, when you have the decision to find more people, you're going to find them. We don't have even to tell you how.
Yeah, and George, usually you answer the questions of people, but actually somebody answered one of your questions, and I don't know how much benefit it will be to the audience. I know we have at least 3 foreigners, because we also have Roberto Perez from Puerto Rico is on here,
Hey,
and
Roberto.
we have several Spanish-speaking people also. But remember when you mentioned, why do they call it wet behind the ears? Christy answered that they call it because it relates to pups or kittens being licked by their mothers to keep them clean. So when you're wet behind the ears, you're still a pup. So that's that's what we needed to know about that. So, but let's get let's get really to the business of trying to see what you're looking right now on your screen. These incomes, are incredible incomes that can be achieved in very little time. And I don't know how long it took Jimmy to get to his first million in isogenics, but Lynn is definitely on the way to breaking any records.
I know we are going over time, but I want to say something. When Jimmy came to Utah, when I signed up, he was in the business for 10 months already. And the month that I came in, he makes $16,000, 1/6 in a month. Look at Lynn in her second month. It's why all these people are breaking the records. And Lynn is not the only one. All these people, I mean, Lisa Mayo, Dicker Huff, so many people have been breaking the records in the first year, records that Tony Escobar and Jimmy Smith had and other people have. They've been breaking those records. And the reason is because they knew bonuses, and there is no any reason why you cannot do the same. That doesn't, by the way, I want to add that before we go. You cannot compare with anybody else because everybody is different. Everybody has a different learning curve. Anybody has a different growth. But the fact is that you can get where everybody goes at different speed, but you can get there too.
Perfect. Well, then good night, everyone, and good night, George, and thank you all for all your input and questions.
Okay, see
Have
you later.
Have a great evening.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.